This is Tony Baca, Senior Vice President of Safety at Bergling Construction Company, and what we're looking at here today is a massive courtyard of supported scaffolding. Now, we use a lot of supported scaffolding and we use a lot of suspended scaffolding, and what we're doing on this particular project is we're rebuilding walls with the stones weighing as much as 300 and 400 pounds, taking them and staging them behind the scaffolding. But looking at the scaffolding and looking at the courtyard below, if you notice the falling object protection of toe boards on each and every elevation as required by OSHA. Also, there's mid rails and top rails at 21 inches and 42 inches for fall protection. But each configuration of a supported scaffold is a little bit different. These are all engineered, and if you notice at the top of this one here, there's a beam going across and a beta hoist for lifting up these large stones. The scaffold system where we're staging the stones is engineered to withstand that amount of volume of weight, keeping in mind that this scaffold system needs to be tied in every other floor, or 26 feet vertically and 30 feet horizontally all the way around. So with high winds or any type of freeze-thaw cycle in the ground, that this won't move on us whatsoever. Now, there are a lot of terminologies in scaffolding. How am I getting up on the scaffold? How am I getting down on the scaffold? We have to have at least 2 routes of egress to come up and go down on these scaffold systems, especially in emergency situations. But also the staging of materials when we're working on supported scaffolds needs to be well thought out. In this case, this roof system here is concrete. Had a structural engineer get involved with us for staging all of our product on these roofs. Just lots to look at. Look at the egress route over here on this supported scaffold system. We have an exterior scaffold. Actually, that is called an integral ladder system that keeps you on the inside of the frames as you get up on that one. Look at this one here. That's an outside vertical ladder. A little bit more difficult to climb. This one here also has an interior vertical ladder. So egress on these can be really quite difficult and quite dangerous. The scaffold builders, when they're building this, are tied off 100% of the time, which is great because the standard actually stated back in 1970 when it was written that fall protection on these might create more of a hazard than the hazard itself. But in today's millennial world, we find our scaffold builders now tying off 100% of the time while building. So there's plenty to look at, including the mud sills down below, building these scaffold systems level, fully planked, no excessive debris and garbage buildup on the working platforms. And then the platforms need to be built within 14 inches of the face of the structure. And if you notice also here for dust control, we've got media on air conditioning units or intake units, a lot of engineering controls. So lots to look at when you come out and you inspect a supported scaffold system. And I'm sure that most of us are aware of them, but let's share some stories on these of what we've experienced on supported scaffold systems. Let's have a safe day. Let's have a safe week. Thank you.